we've been at this since Monday last week,
Yeah.
and as we all will admit, this is not an issue that anybody planned for. It just caught up with us, and indeed is overtaking us. But there's hope because of the likes of yourselves. You know, we've been trying to, after evaluating the situation, we noticed that, look, these guys need a new beginning.
Yeah.
You know, which is recreate their habitat for them, if you like. How do we resettle them? And it will start with buildings, you know, building new communities. I mean, trust me, some of the communities have been permanently wiped off.
I'm telling you.
If anybody thought that in another week or two, so the water will recede, so they go back, it's not going to happen. Because they frankly are in the pathway of the water anyway. Okay, because the water had been dammed. And so once the water gets to its natural pathway, it stays there.
It doesn't go back.
It's not going back. And so we need to rebuild new communities for them. And for us, with the initiative that we have begun, we have decided to start building centers. So each center that we build can house up to 200 people. So these are dormitory-style centers. So we are starting from Chokpo, and we break ground tomorrow. And we were just going to buy cement today.
Super Saturday.
Intercepted.
Just the information. With 1,000 bags of cement. Project is done.
Powerful.
Project is done. I mean, I am sure, I don't know the details of the quantities, but with 1,000 bags, for the kind of thing we want to do, I think we can even build 2 out of that. Yeah. So
500 for each one.
Yes.
So that means 2 of the structures.
We couldn't have had it at any better time. Thank you so much on behalf of the affected victims. Thank you.
We've been doing the fundraising on air since Monday. We visited a number of communities from Thursday all the way through Saturday. It was a very tiring but rewarding weekend. And we haven't finished telling the story of the relief efforts.
Yeah.
But I think the first day you came here, you said, this is not a touch and go. And from the way you see it, this is not something you can just go and dump relief items and come back. And I think that has been the main thrust of the project. So I know you've been thinking through this with some of your colleagues in the industry. What precisely do you want Citi to do next? What's the next phase of this whilst we still do the relief?
Okay, so on a bigger scale, as I said, what needs to be done, and when I say bigger scale, I mean at the national level, and I'm not reading from the notes of the government, but
this is what you think.
As a country, what we need to do is to create new settlements for the affected victims.
You think so?
Oh yeah, to create new settlements. Akin to what we did when the war veterans came back to Ghana, where you create new places where, normally they look like temporary, places of abode. But this is how we can solve the situation. And I say that because it's the only thing under our control. Of all the elements that we are dealing with, the only thing that is 100% under our control is to first identify new locations and create new settlements.
So there's no going back to the old houses?
No, it's not under our control.
Yeah.
If you heard what the account of the people, they are in the settlement camps, and then occasionally they use the canoes to go and check whether the waters have receded at their original communities. But what do we see? The waters are not receding anytime soon. The waters are not receding anytime soon. That's 277 feet thing that we have.
277.36.
We haven't had that
in a long time.
In fact, we've never had that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the pattern had been the water rising during the regular rainy season and then coming down, and if it goes beyond a certain level, they start spilling. One thing people don't know is that VRA started spilling in September.
September 15.
September is when they started spilling. And it was always going to get here. And it's not under their control. It's not. The only thing is to build. So we are saying that we would start off by building some of these centers for them.
Shelters.
Now, the shelter is a dormitory style, which will contain in total up to 200 or so people. Okay, so we are doing the first one at Tokpo in the Shai Osudoku district.
Which was the first place we visited officially.
Exactly.
Where we had to cross the river to enter the village.
That's correct.
Where they are sleeping in classrooms without windows and doors.
Without windows.
No sanitary. Some of them are sleeping on the bare
toilet
floor.
Facilities.
It was just terrible.
Nothing.
So the first, so you've spoken to the community, you already have the land.
Yes.
So the first project is at Tokpo.
Yes.
And then you think we can replicate this in a few places?
And we are actually replicating it in Attah.
Okay.
Yes. We have had a discussion with the DCE.
Spoke to her yesterday.
Yeah, Madam Sarah Pobi.
Okay.
So she has secured land for us, and we are replicating it in Attah.
Yes.
And the third place will be...
Yes, I've been speaking to the chief of Abadowi Kome, which is next to New Bakba. And they sent me videos of the island, and the water has taken over. So they've also said they have land at New Bakba that they can give us to do a shelter for the displaced people as well. So New Bakba, for the villagers from Abadiwo Kome, which is just next door, are also willing to receive these houses. So at least 3, and that's in Central Tong District. I was there myself, and I met the chief, and I spoke to him about it, and he's very excited about
so
this.
we have everything, designs ready, workers. In fact, we are using artisans from the areas.
We are not carrying workers from Accra.
No, maybe just a supervisor.
So you are going to use local knowledge.
Exactly, because there are loads of them. Look, when we went there yesterday, we asked them to put their masons together. They say, my friend, over here, everybody's a mason. Every other person is a mason, so don't worry. So we have carpenters. They are all there.
And you
pay them.
Yes, we're going to. So we are going to employ the local artisans and pay them to get some money. And I noticed the design is not just concrete, but it's on wood.
No, it's actually block to a point, and then woodwork and nets.
I see.
Because of the numbers, and you want air to be, So temporary, but, the question popped up. So what happens when they are done using it? We've also done the design in a manner that it can be converted to classrooms.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, and because a lot of people are in schools, so it means that the school can then take possession later on.
That's how,
use
in
it
fact,
for classroom
at
work.
Tokpo, we are using a land that belongs to the school.
Fantastic.
So the school now takes possession of it after.
Wow, the headmaster will be happy.
In Attah, we are using a land that belongs to the assembly. And so they say that when they are done using it for this purpose, they will convert it to a skills training center.
Powerful.
So every locality and the nuances of how you do it.
Exactly.
But the point is you are doing. But what's the cost of one though?
The cost of one is estimated at 200,000 cedis.
Okay.
200,000
for the whole
cedis. Yes. In actual practice, I am not sure we'll use
200,000.
physical 200,000 because people are still donating. For instance, we had budgeted for cement, and this morning somebody has given us cement. So
1,000
practically the cost of cement is out. So this is how we want to do. But we think that serious companies that believe that they need to do something to change the course of their fortunes in these communities should go into building new communities.
So I was calculating the places we've touched physically since Thursday, and I think we've been to at least 10 communities.
No, we've done 18 communities.
As in, you are adding the groups that were agglomerated. So 18
communities.
Yeah, I'm coming. What I'm saying is that physically.
Yeah.
Because some of the people came to meet us. So are you saying that it's possible to do more of these shelters in these identified communities?
Okay, like you said earlier on, each community would have. There are some communities that are not holding centers but they've been affected in one way or another. So such communities, we need to put up. It's like create a living place for them.
Okay.
So you can look at quarters, small quarters, for people to live with their families. And it starts as a temporary measure, but it ends up being a permanent feature, And don't forget that it's not only the disaster has not just displaced people from their homes, it has displaced people from their enterprises as well.
Yeah.
Now, those who dive to go and pick the adode from the bed of the river cannot go because of the high levels of the water. They can't. They are all sitting. We spoke with a number of them. I mean, they call themselves divers, and they dive not to find gold, not to find diamond, but to go and find adode. So, what is the alternative enterprise that they can hang on to? So there are lots of things that can be done. It's okay to donate all the food and the rice and the sugars and all that, but really, what is the point if you keep donating and they have no place to keep?
Which is why you feel that the rebuild part of this is very critical.
There's no question about rebuilding. And we can get all the theories about how we wait for the water. The water is not receding today or tomorrow.
Because they are still spilling.
No, they have to spill.
They are still spilling because there's more water at the top.
As for the spilling,
to continue.
If I hear anybody fighting against the spillage, that person is a witch.
Oh, because when the thing breaks down, it's crazy.
And then you hear that, if it breaks out, then there will be flooding. There will not be flooding. There won't be flooding.
Catastrophe.
We will be wiped off into the sea. That's what will happen. The whole of Tema, the whole of Akuse. In fact, the moment the thing breaks, the Akosombo Dam is gone, number one. 2, Akuse is gone. The Suchare is gone. All the places leading up to Tema and its environment, Sakumono, everywhere is gone. You see, so we shouldn't joke with this spillage thing. It's a problem we have sat and watched over for 60 years. And it has just caught up with us. Let's do the right thing. Let's resettle the people. And resettling the people is not something you negotiate. It's not a negotiation thing. Take the resources, start building. You start building. After you have built the communities that they so deserve, then you start talking them into settling into the communities. They need farmlands. They need markets. They need where they will sleep. Whatever model we use, at the end of the day, some leadership decision should include resettling the people as of yesterday.
And you know the funny thing? When they were doing the original dam, people had to be resettled. So there's even a template for that. Some of the communities near Akosombo were created as resettlement communities because of the original effect of the dam. So I'm sure the knowledge on what to do to resettle people exists. New Bakpa is a new place. It's a resettlement town. Because 63 years ago, it was old Bakpa, which is essentially gone. So what the man is saying, I think, is 100%.
What happens is the 1965 resettlement event would actually relocate people from one place of a higher degree of exposure to another, which is lower. Over years, when we have not had incidents of huge spillage, people moved back to some of those places on the quiet side, and authorities watched these things happen unconcerned. So over time, some of them spread back to the original places. That's a matter of fact. But, when people go into the debate thing, I'm asking, what would debate do to anybody?
You are working.
The people are hustling. Let's build. Where's the Ministry of Housing? Where is the Ministry of Housing? They should start building. We have CSIR. They have models upon models. The building and road research. They have models there. This is when we are faced with a reality like this.
This is when we need to now see what our research people have.
Roll out.
And they are there. Nobody is talking to them. Have you heard anything like CSR? Nobody is talking to them. So I'm just saying that of all the things that we can do, which is not under our control, as for building new communities there, we have to start like yesterday. So we at Citi have decided that we'll start building. Whoever wants to build, you can go there, find an area, get your architects, put something there for them. If you want to join us, you are welcome. But we are going. We are going.
So
the specific features of the communities we're putting up, these are dormitory communities. What are the specific features you are incorporating into the buildings?
So they have. So this one is the dormitory takes 30 people. So 30 people. So 30 beds by 3. So 90.
Okay.
So on one side, and then facing another one on the other side.
Okay.
So 90 here, 90 there, 180 on the average. And then in between, at the extreme end of it, is the washrooms and the bathrooms. 3 each, so 6, 3 each for each block.
Male, female.
Yeah, male, female, yes.
So that's the dormitory structure.
Yes.
There's also an idea for a quarters, which is still being explored.
And then the kitchen before the quarters.
Yeah, so we are not building the kitchen.
Okay.
We're just having a roof.
Okay.
You know, the way it's done there, you know, like the old car parking thing, with the roof in the middle of the courtyard. You know, because a community.
So it's like a semi-compound.
Yes,
house.
like a compound, you know, because they are all together.
So it's like left, right, and back.
Yes.
Sort of
But then like a U.
Yeah, so that's how we have done it. And you know, it's a temporary thing, so you don't want to overspend. And again, time is of the essence. We want something that can be built in 1 month.
Powerful.
Something that can be built and handed over within 1 month.
That's beautiful.
So this is why we are going the way we are going.
But you were talking about the possibility of some communities you will do quarters, because
Yes,
for the
yes,
communities
yes.
that don't have people in holding centers but who need to be rehoused.
Yes.
The
We're using the
architect did the
same
design
model. Yes.
for quarters,
yes,
which is
quarters,
more
yes.
permanent.
Exactly. So that one holds 16 units.
Yes.
8 on one side, 8 on another
So
side.
that's for communities which do not have people in these holding centers but who need to be rehoused.
right.
And that the 16 unit is also well designed, and that can also accommodate a lot of people. So there's a lot of thinking going on, and we are really grateful to the team that's been working with Attah-Mensah behind the scenes to put this together.
And Bernard, I just got a message from our brother, Mr. Martin Mensah, who says that consider Tropical Cable as your cable partner.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Martin. We will have a short break. Another group is coming in to do a quick donation. Express Pay have some gifts they are holding, so we'll talk to them as well. We also have a conversation with the Executive Women's Network, all of that and more. But Attah-Mensah, thank you very much. So you have officially launched. What's the name of this? The rebuild.
So you mean we will give you PCAS to make it?
Yeah. So are you going to cut the? Are you going to do it
Tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. Yes.
You know, Sophie.
So
Sophie.
Tomorrow you are going to do.
Yeah.
So tomorrow you are going to actually do the.
Yes, we are going to. We are going to
groundbreaking.
commission it. Yes.
Yes.
So I'm going there with Uncle Nick,
Yes.
Mr. Nick Amatefio, and some of our managers.
Wonderful. So that will be officially, once you launch that one, then the rest you can also start building.
And guess what?
Yeah.
So this thing we are talking about, with the speed with which we are going, the design was done by our latest COPE graduate,
Yeah.
Powerful.
Oh yeah.
Powerful.
Mr. Alfred Grant, who just completed,
Check.
Tech.
tech as a COPE
I think
beneficiary.
I interviewed him last
Yes.
month.
Yeah, that's right.
And
2
Alfred
weeks
called
ago.
me and said, "Sir,
can design
what
it."
can I do for this thing?" I said, "Can you?" And listen, Bernard, I spoke to him on Sunday morning. By Sunday night, he had finished the
The
design.
design was there.
Powerful.
And he's not even done national service yet too.
Powerful.
So he's just fresh from school.
Powerful.
How many years did he spend in school?
6 years.
6. It's Charlie, 6
6,
years.
7 years.
It's long, wow.
Yeah.
So
all
7
on COPE.
years.
All on COPE, yes.
Powerful. And COPE is
City Opportunity Project and Education City
good, man.
Foundation.
Yes.
So Alfred did all the design.
Yes.
Both the quarters and the
Everything.
So you see how support you have given us over the years is coming back to provide help.
Wow. So Alfred, congratulations on this job. He hasn't been sleeping.
He's been working.
Hey, and he said you can do this in a month.
Yes.
In a month.
Yes,
To be ready.
in a month, yes.
Get it done.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Once we have all the resources, which I believe we do.
Attah-Mensah, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So, rebuild rebuild.
And keep giving. We can't do this without your support. Please keep giving.